Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Desiree DeMars, and I am an artist, a shamanic practitioner, BQH hypnotist, and a evolutionary coach. And I'm here today to offer a New Year's reading, a reading of the bones, or a shamanic divination. Yesterday I did just a short reading for New Year's Eve, so it'll be interesting to see what pops up today with the sacred symbols. And I said that what I would do is I would do a little bit longer reading, since it's the first day of our new year, 2022, January 1st. And so what I'm going to include is just the rattling and the opening ceremony that I like to do before I throw the bones. And this way you can join me in that process. And I'm going to have you blow into the basket and infuse your energy if you would like. And I think that's all I'll share for today. If you're interested in a one-on-one reading, you can go to my website, DesireeDemars.com. There's information there. And there's information there about my other services and the upcoming Shift Network interview for Ancestral Healing Summit, which will be airing in mid-January. So if you're interested in that, you can just click on information below, get connected to the Shift, and sign up to be notified when that airs. So without further ado, let's begin. You can close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Just inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, relaxing your jaw, your head, neck, and shoulders, and dropping down into the heart center. And as you do, just feel yourself align the heart, the brain, the gut. And just imagine you're grounding yourself down, bringing this divine and sacred light from above through your central channel all the way down to the center of the earth, connecting with the divine feminine. And then naturally just feeling that energy flow back up after it's connected and grounded, anchored to the very core of the beautiful planet Earth, activating your own central core of iron in your hemoglobin, which is connected to the iron core of the earth. And feeling that strength, that stability, that fire, and that passion flowing up, back through the central channel, all the way out and up through the top of your head, connecting with the divine masculine, the star nations, connecting to all that is, and flowing over like a fountain, activating the toroidal field, allowing it to expand with conscious awareness, awakening all of your chakras. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. And then finally white. Again, flowing up through your toroidal field, infusing it with rainbow light. And then one last time, feeling that energy come down from the heavens, the cosmic golden light that creates the spark that activates this balance and this relationship between the masculine and the feminine, the positive and the negative. That element of gold, adding that to the alchemical activation of your energy field, of your heart again, your brain, your gut. Now grounded and expanded simultaneously in this holographic field of divine love, of the superconscious awareness, that field of connection to everything. That unlimited, infinite abundance of information, of energy, of life force. Now I'll rattle for a minute or two and call in all of our guides, angels, teachers, and especially our ancestors to guide us for this New Year intention. So hold in your heart during the rattling, during my prayer, and even if you don't hear the words, you can just allow your own prayer to come forward and merge in this field of everything, in this all that is, and bring new opportunities, new insights, and deep, deep inner peace and wisdom. Divine Mother, Heavenly Father, infinite Creator of all that is, come and be with us. Come and be with us. Sit in the sacred and divine circle with our intentions, our hearts open with gratitude and appreciation for this clarity, wisdom, and guidance coming through all of the directions. The east, the south, the west, the north, above, below, and the middle. All of the elementals, earth, air, fire, water, ether, plasma, neutrinos, and all elements yet unknown to man. Come and be with us. Come and be with us. Sit in this sacred and divine circle, bringing forth the wisdom, the information, the clarity that we seek for these new steps forward into 2022. Come and be with us, all of our guides, angels, teachers, guardians, the mysterious and the magical, the two-legged, the four-legged, the many-legged, the winged ones, the finned ones, and the creepy crawlers. Come and be with us as we sit together in this circle of love. Come and be with us, all of our ancestors, those who've gone before us, lived a good life and transcended, and are now here working on our soul's behalf as we evolve. Come and be with us. Come and be with us. All of those whose names we do not know, but whose blood runs through our veins. Come and be with us to grace us with your guidance as we begin this new chapter and this new great cycle of a new year. Come and be with gratitude and appreciation, love, abundance, wisdom, and for all the gifts that we shall receive today through this reading. And as we move forward, may it not only shine upon us, but may it flow out to all those we come in contact with. In full faith, so be it. Aho. So, here we go. So take a nice deep breath and blow your intention into the basket 3 times. And I'll do that with you. Oh, and before I go too far, I'm going to drop this down so you can see it. So here we go. See if I can adjust this a little bit. There we go. And hopefully you can see most of it. I know it's not the greatest angle. It'd be ideal to have a video shot from above, but just take a few moments to take in the design of the pieces as they have landed on the cloth. I like to just notice anything that pops out has some kind of significance for me, for whatever reason it might be. And just remembering that you would be sitting here. So you're looking at it from this angle. I'm sitting here, looking at it from this angle. And it's a pretty open spread. Looks like a nice spiral going this way here, entering in with the element of air. And what's really nice is that right closest to you where you're sitting is this piece. It was in a similar spot yesterday. I think it was over here a little more. But it's about that which is not yet created. For some, as an ancestor, this can be a soul. This little bone can represent a child that was lost, a miscarriage, an abortion, or a project, something that never came to fruition. But what also is there simultaneously is the energy of something not yet created and the womb or the energy field for something new. And this little gem, this little, I don't even remember what this is, sitting here, next to it is representative of the chakra, like the earth star is sometimes called. We have, a sun star and an earth star. So this is like the earth star. So again, I would say it's similar to yesterday's message of something new being created, and really taking time this year to ground that into the earth, into the human aspects of this 3 and 4D that we're in as we transform. So it's like just having some roots, something grounded, a foundation. an energetic foundation. And what's beautiful here too, right off this entry, is um, two ancestors, ancient ancestors, both maternal and paternal, maternal, paternal. That's fascinating because that's kind of what opened up first yesterday, was about father. So here we have the ancient ones on the paternal lineage here. And then the maternal, these are the feminine, the ancient feminine. And here's passion again. Passion, talking stick, really igniting your passion, or taking this time to reflect now, to really review, reassess maybe what you're truly passionate about, and move forward with that. And this ancestor here is a grandfather on your father's side too, paternal grandfather. So very interesting. We've got the masculine, and then we've got the star nations, the shaman, creating ceremony. And this is a beautiful way. This is what I love about reading the bones so much, that it, just the practice or the act of doing it is ceremony, and keeps ceremony as a part of my foundation. And you can look at any divination that way. It's about the ceremony. And then beautifully, as I just started to say, well, here's Father. So we're coming into this new year with kind of a reigniting energy of passion, values that support the masculine aspect of ourselves. But what's interesting is here's the divine feminine, so like in a very feminine way, which I think that comes up often this last year, definitely. This idea of action does not mean always having to do something or push something or make something happen. Action can also be stepping back, going within, and being receptive to receiving. It's about receiving. And then here we have again, we have Uranus. Sudden and unexpected things definitely coming our way. And again, one of the first things I'm noticing here is, well, here's the Earth. So sudden and unexpected changes, which we already are having in such a big way with these fires. The last couple days, maybe it was 2 days ago, I happen to have a shamanic colleague who lives in Colorado, where these amazing, intense inferno fires were. And I'm really happy to say that I heard that her house is still standing, which is a miracle, because I also heard that most of the old part of town in Superior, Colorado, was just burned to the ground. So, yeah, finding a way that what is kind of locked, this lock, I always look at, find out where the lock is and where the key is. And it's interesting that it's here with not a lot around it. So this message I'm getting from this is that whatever we've had hidden, or we've decided to hide from ourselves, or is the subconscious aspects that are hidden, there's now space around them. You know, the veil is thin. We're able to maybe access these and really bring a level of integration into whatever it is. This also would say something that is kind of hidden, or a fog, or it could be a secret, could be, sometimes in most intense cases, it could be something that's like a vow or a curse, or something underlying what is on the surface. But the energy flow here is beautiful around that it's like it's time to really look at those aspects of the self, or definitely in reclaiming what is sacred. You know, I was just thinking, even if we were to look at it like in the politics, or the structures that we're functioning in as in the collective, is like a lot of stuff that's been hidden or swept under the rug obviously is now coming forward. And and a beautiful way for it to unfold is we have bear claw here. It's about introspection. So going within to really see the truth, see how it feels, see how something feels for you. Does it align? Does it align with your values, with your ideas and your choices of what is true? And if it doesn't, it's really time right now to be crystal clear about it. Be at truth with it. And as we move through, I'll see where the key is and come back to that and relate that, because I don't see it. But often these pieces can be layered. It can be underneath something. So, and here is the inquiry. Whatever you were holding in your heart, and I'll just look at it as the greater message of the ancestors, of our guides, teachers, guardians, that is here in this piece of coral. And what is most prominent here is it's right next to the hand, which represents the physicality, the physical aspects of either us or the situation, the inquiry that we're holding. And very fascinating, there's a lot of planets around it. So there's something about the work that we're doing, this internal work that is unfolding from within us and making changes, even on a physical level. The best way I would say to look at that is, or experience it, try experiencing it from an energetic standpoint. This is about frequency, looking at the frequency, noticing the level of frequency of the things that you're doing, the people that you're with, the activities that you're involved in, seeing if they do they align with a higher frequency, this higher frequency of love, this higher frequency of joy, of abundance, of equality, of truth. And what is surrounding it here is Mars, Mercury, and Venus. So beautiful. Yeah, looking at what do you truly love? What do you love? Just because you absolutely love it, what brings you joy? What brings you truth, beauty? And express that in the world. Communicate that in some way. And that some way could be physical and it could be energetic. But this little meteorite here is also saying it's time. It's time to receive from your understanding, from your experience of knowing that is coming from this higher frequency, higher frequencies that we are receiving right now. Big time from the sun, from the galactic center. And this Mars energy is kind of nudging. Mars is a little bit like a nudge. It can be like a warrior type of energy, but it's wanting things to move forward. And I would say that's confirmed here with horse. Moving forward toward a bigger vision, a greater vision, a bigger dream that you have on your spiritual path right now. And again, keeping everything grounded. This is what's really important, is that whatever you're doing in that arena of your life on a frequency level, on alignment with things that are at higher frequency, is you also have to ground it. In order to manifest, you have to ground it. And we've got the moon here right next to this idea of strong foundation. It's like we're building a new foundation. We have this little reptile here. He's like saying this transformation that is coming forth through us energetically, be sure we ground it. And also, the moon being an aspect of a more feminine aspect, but she's here in fullness. It's like this full brilliant reflection. it's time. It's time for clear reflection about what truly is here, even the underbelly, or even the aspects that are often hidden, or that we even consciously or unconsciously try to hide. It's like it just reminds me, as I say it, of the phenomena that a lot of people talk about with, everybody's happy on Facebook. But they're not really happy, or when they're, in social media. But underneath that, there are other things happening that don't get acknowledged, because our culture kind of supports this idea of, everything should be pretty and happy, and have a certain look to it in order to be acceptable. But I think this new year really is all about opening up, moving forward toward a bigger dream, a greater dream, a more solid structure that actually makes room for all of us, for all of humanity, not just the select few, not just the rich, not just the whoever, those who are, not just the movie stars, no offense to anybody that is working in that field, but just that projection, shining some light on this false projection that often is a part of our cultural norms. So we have the element of air here. We have another ancestor. We have grandfather on our mother's side. Grandfather on the maternal side of your lineage. And there's something here, this is so interesting, there's kind of like a little line here of a young adult, grandfather, and grandmother. And there's big, a rebirthing happening here around that, which is interesting. And it's the sun. The sun is activating right now this kind of rebirth that we're all experiencing in our DNA for sure. It's affecting the environment. It's affecting everything, the entire planet. And then we have grandmother on the paternal side here, closest to me, closest to the sun. And again, this idea of reflection, and the shell is facing down. This rebirth, it's important to take time to reflect on the spiritual journey that you're on. And we've got Neptune, which is really interesting. So Neptune, again, I feel like it's relating to this idea of the fog, or what might not be clear. But all it takes is a little bit of time given to being in that quiet, receptive space, that reflective space, even if it's a few breaths somewhere, just stopping, taking a few breaths, just noticing, just giving yourself that moment to notice what's going on. And this feels like soul retrieval energy here. Soul retrieval and mind, kind of a mental rebalancing on the maternal lineage through this DNA transformation that's happening. In fact, it's creating a transfiguration. This is beautiful. Transfiguration through taking time right now at the beginning of this new year to reflect. Go inward a little bit. This is mother right on top of it, right at the base, right at her feet. Really looking at the foundation from where you came in your maternal lineage, knowing there's a huge transfiguration happening. And here is the grandparents. Greats. The great grandparents on your mother's side. The maternal great grandparents. So this is a beautiful flow of energy, and allow in this The space that you give yourself, this time to take a breath. Here's deer toe, which is, the innocence, the the magic, the magic that we all feel of the forest. And here's the cardinal outside the window here, cheering that on. Creating a sacred space in your home too, and your work, because big changes there this year. I think this is Pluto, and I know we're all being affected by Pluto astrologically, and this year, and it's really, just notice how it's affecting your work, or the work you want to do, or how you might want to transform or change your work, which would be about feeling this divine union within yourself, that you feel united, connected, and aligned to what you're doing in the world. Yeah, and just know that that's going to be amplified right now. Community is part of that, but there's an amplification. This is a beautiful little halo here, kind of a ring around this idea of, this is the blueprint that you came in with. And just being aware of maybe what is this, was the soul's purpose. What was your soul's purpose for coming in? Not so much the work, like the job, the 9 to 5 to pay the bills, but the work in the world. This is a beautiful arc here. And what's really beautiful about it is, from my perspective, this would be you receiving the reading. This might be someone you're in relationship, a loved one, or someone you're in relationship with in work, or something significant that you do, or something that you do with your creative energy. And or it could be somebody home. This is about home, this little piece of deer toe here. This is really beautiful. Again, it's saying, like, what's important is to look at the structures that you have in your life and how you are grounded in those structures. And what I'll say about that is, my evolutionary coaching work, a big piece of that work is about being in creative structures. Rather than problem solving, trying to fix things, change things, make things go away, that we actually at some point have to realize we don't always have control. Each person has control over whatever choices they are making. And so a better use of your time and energy would be to be in a creative structure where the focal point is more on what, again, internally is a part of the greater blueprint of who you are. And we have indigo here. This little indigo stone is about the chakra, your third eye. So it's like seeing things on a deeper level, seeing things from a greater perspective, seeing things now with more information. If you were to include the wholeness of who you are, even the pieces that are hidden, and embraced those with love and compassion, and realize there is wisdom in the wound, there is wisdom in the struggles and challenges. This is why we have chosen in our blueprint to have these challenges in our life, because that's truly what brings the wisdom to us. And by having a creative structure that we live and express ourselves through, we are more able then to manifest just naturally. Look at what just comes out. I mean, to me, I'm just thinking, wow, it's like Venus in the clamshell, right? We have Pachamama. We have the Great Mystery. We have a little timekeeper here too, and the angelic ones, Jupiter amplifying everything. Deer toe, that sacred innocence, the innocence of a child, that innocence within you. And Pluto is just like right here at the foundation of that, third eye Pluto, creative life force. This is beautiful. This is sea lily, and it's a part of the vertebrae of this ancient plant. Now, this is, what do you call it? It is, obviously it's not, it's like petrified. But these huge sea lilies were the life forms that held the roots down in the mud. Without the roots and then the flexibility, keep things flexible, let yourself flow in this creative force. I think one of the greatest attributes of living in a creative structure is to help you develop these processes of creation that are important to nurture the ability to be flexible, the ability to change, the ability to reflect and say, okay, this is what was, this is what didn't work, and now I want to continue to grow and change and evolve, and that means being flexible. And then what it produces, the beauty of this, look at this alignment here of sea lily, your blueprint, and this mirrored here, this the angelic forces. It's like the angelic forces within yourself even, that if you are coming around to claiming or reclaiming that part of you that is a star, this part of your star nations, your star family, this is here aligned, which is beautifully then aligned at the top here with an ancient one on the paternal side. The paternal ancient ones in your lineage. Just beautiful, next to the great grandparents. And here's the DNA. Wow. DNA, and this is the physical body. This shell represents the body, like in body, mind, and spirit, a part of the wholeness, the human aspect of the wholeness of who we are. So yes, the DNA is changing. We are being informed constantly by our ancient ones. The more we tap into our ancestral lineage, the more information we get, the more guidance we get, the more clarity we get about this alignment of our creative life force or our beingness as a creator. And this is beautiful. This is a little turtle, and I put that in intentionally for an inquiry that I have personally about a project that I'm working on. And it's interesting because turtle is on its back, so its belly is up. What does that say to you about something maybe that you're in the process of creating? The belly, it's vulnerable. It's probably not comfortable to be upside down, especially for a turtle. So to me, it's saying, slow down. There's something about the start of this year. I think this came up yesterday, was, letting the pace be intentional, be slow and steady. And then in that process, being able to write things rather than reacting, because back to this point here where we were looking at the inquiry and saying, wow, there's a lot of Mars energy here, a lot of push to move forward, a lot of push right now, especially because there's so much chaos in our world and our structures, and many of us are wanting big changes to happen because they need to. But I think the wisdom that's coming through the ancient ones and the higher frequencies here with the angelics is, it's important to go within. It's important to stay grounded and rooted. It's important to take our time and take things slow. Take things slow, because what's here with a partner or somebody you might be working with or a loved one, a spouse, is this bone here is representing the a fork in the road. So if you're taking it slow, your heart will guide you. You'll have just more ability to make clearer choices, to make choices that are more aligned with the higher frequencies that you're seeking out. And you'll have plenty of time to shift or change or adapt to whatever kind of big, sudden and unexpected experiences that are going to be happening in the next couple of years. We know that astrologically. Still more big changes, surprises, what next to come. And then, so that brings us kind of to center here. And this fork in the road, here it is, the base of it is right next to your vision, your dream. What is the dream? What is the vision? And there is something about speaking it, sharing with like-minded people, sharing it with the world, sharing it whatever level you want, but somehow communicating and speaking it. This is rattle. Somehow calling it in. And what you might do for support here, we've got the great grandparents on your paternal side, crown chakra, power animals, amulet, creating medicine. Notice the medicine that is we're getting downloads right now. You know, the crown chakra is open, receptive, and receiving. Definitely from, again, the father seems this masculine influence. Here's the divine feminine, though, this balance, beautiful balance, head to head. Right? And the drum, you know, stay in touch with what's in your heart. And this is Saturn. So this is interesting. Sudden and unexpected changes in structure, in, foundations. But what's important is the heart leading the way, the heart guiding in a more feminine way of taking action and letting that energy at the crown of the head be both masculine and feminine. Be both. Be balanced. Be equilibrium. That was a word that I keep bumping into, or it keeps popping up for me, is equilibrium. So I believe that's a big theme for 2022, is finding equilibrium within yourself, on your path, and that way the vision, this greater vision, the dream, look at it's right across from your dream. Your vision is eagle condor, really saying keep your eye on eye on the prize here. It's a greater cycle. Keep your eye on the bigger picture. And speak your truth. Stay in your power, third chakra. This little shard here represents speaking your truth. Speaking your truth to cut through the fog, that which is hidden. Things that are not what they seem, because I think we're still up for some big surprises. And what I'm looking for is, I cannot find it. It's so interesting. The key. Is it here? Oh, yeah. Okay. So, so here you are. Here we have our little, I call him my canary in the coal mine, frog. He's on his side. So things are, look at both sides. Look at both sides of the coin. There was a saying I saw recently about coins, and it said, you know, there are two sides to every coin, and when you get to the edge, that's where you have insight. That's where the wisdom lies, on the edge. And so, frog being kind of on the edge here, right next to you, is, I feel, a message about, before you just leap into making a decision, which this Pluto energy and then all this Mars energy wanting us to push. We're wanting to push forward. But if it's not time to push, it's kind of fruitless, right? It's not really going to get us where we want to go. And then we may have to backtrack, and then we'll have to kind of go back trying to find that place where the fork in the road was and then choose the other path. But instead, look at both sides of the coin, and then in doing so, you'll be in the edge or on the edge, and you'll have insight about both the masculine, feminine, the light and the dark. And that is what's key. That is a key expression or key idea. And this is no accident. I feel yesterday this was a key piece too. This coin represents financial abundance, things that we value, material things. So with whatever's going on in that aspect, and probably in the greater collective, I know there are many astrologers right now saying that big changes to our financial system. So in order to maintain a place of balance and make good decisions for yourself financially in 2022, I would say take your time. Find yourself in a place where you can see both sides or all aspects of the inquiry, of the project, of the situation, and maintain this creative structure so that you can be flexible, you can be grounded, and you can make really good choices. Yeah, and this is representative of kind of that greater field beyond the crown, tapping into that all that is the superconscious. This is the superconscious. So what's important is to continue to develop and open your clear gifts, clear audience, clear sentience, your connection, your the part of your identity that is directly connected to source. And again, no accident. I just, we have the ancient ones, but both the masculine and the feminine. It's so beautiful. So obviously a big theme is, emotions, trusting your emotions, honoring your emotions, honoring how you feel about what is not always at the surface, allowing yourself to dive deep and then have compassion for what you find there on this human journey. And, and aligning yourself with this greater vision, a greater vision. Keeping your eye on the bigger vision. Keep your eye on the prize, on the spiritual journey, on the greater circle or cycles of life, to give you guidance and allow the wisdom of having all of the information guide you, not just part of it, or not just the external, both the internal and the external. Wow, so that is really beautiful. I would say that kind of covers this beautiful spiral here with all the ancestors, everything coming into play with, and this idea of being your own medicine, trusting your own inner truth. Almost dead center here. So interesting. Amulet. You might want to create an amulet. That would be a creative thing to do, or wear one that you have, create one, find one, your own power, your own medicine. Be your own medicine. Because there's forks in the road. That's going to be one of the themes of the year. I believe probably the next couple of years is fork in the road. And you want to have as much information so that you make choices that really align with your heart, with your greater vision, with the greater soul's journey. The soul's journey. So that is really beautiful. So I think that about covers the main aspects of the reading that I'd like to share today. And I'll tip this back up so I can see you. And with that said, I'd just like to thank all of you for joining me. Please like and share. Again, you can go to my website, DesireeDermars.com, for more information or to book a one-on-one reading. And if anything resonated with you, share it with those you love, those you feel it would bring wisdom and guidance to in their life. So again, Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Blessings. Maybe what I'll do is I'll go out and I'll close the circle since we opened it so beautifully with the prayer and the rattling. Let's close it with some rattling and just taking all that information in, allowing it all to settle, and know that as you digest it, it will become an integral part of you, and that in the perfect way and the perfect order, as you align with your superconscious, it will flow out into the world in its divine order. Aho. Blessings, everyone.